welcome to another Revolution Sunday. Yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green Sr. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Welcome again. What a blessed day it is because you and I are blessed. Grand rising to you, our resident mystic Wesley Turk, who's joining us today on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Tag, share, and text. Text, share, and tag. Comment. Hey to you, Hillary. So glad to see people coming into the stream today. Like, share, text, tag, whatever it is you can do to bring people into the conversation today, into our wonderful spiritual community. It's time to vibe with our tribe. Let's pray. We are so thankful and grateful, Creator and Source and Sustainer of all things. Guide us, speak to us, hold us, enfold us, empower us. Thank you. Let the Christ mind be ever present. Let healing, deliverance, transition, enlightenment, even the emergence of a higher, better self take place during this broadcast. And the gospel of consciousness and that of love be replete. Let it be transmitted in my voice, in my aura, in my spirit, in my words. And I just thank you in advance that we are evolving, transforming, and ascending. It is so. And so it is. We remember Yeshua, his consciousness, his power, his nature, his way. It is so. And so it is. Yes, so good to see all of you on this morning. Chrissa, our resident therapist, Pastor Cotton is on. We're vibing with our tribe. And don't forget to follow me and set your notifications for the social media links you see at the bottom of the screen. That's Facebook, AG Green. Now on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. And we are streaming also live from within our Patreon community today. We're taking more and more steps to streaming exclusively from within that platform. And grand rising to you, Monica. Good to see you on today as well. Thank you. I always like to remind you of what Philippians 4:13 says. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, the Christ, the Christos. You are never, ever alone. You are in partnership with God, in partnership with Christ's mind, Christ's essence. Therefore, I can. I want you to type in the comment section, I can. Speak it out loud. I can. What situations does the power of I can from you as I am need to address today? I can prosper. I can manifest healing and wholeness. I can overcome any sickness, any diagnosis, any disease. I can rise above all challenges and circumstances. I am one with Christ. I have the mind of Christ. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. This is a partnership. I can. Ooh, this is so powerful. I can. A wonderful thing it is to own and embrace. I can. You are the offspring. You are one with the eternal creator, the source of all things. The biblical text shares with us, now to him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, it's according to the power that worketh in us, and that power is unlimited. I want you to type in the comment section, I am powerful. And I encourage you, I even dare you to speak out loud, I am powerful. Come on, declare it. Come on, decree it. Come on, speak it. I am powerful. I'm powerful. Come on, declare it. Look down the barrel at scarcity and say, I am powerful. Look down the barrel at depression, discouragement, anxiety, and despair and say, I am powerful. Look into what was once an abyss of darkness and speak light by declaring from your identity, I am powerful. Come on, speak it. Come on, declare it. Come on, decree it. Come on, embody it. You're decreeing it as an unlimited, powerful, dynamic, spiritual being of a divine class, a spiritual species that is in the image and likeness of its creator. Come on, I am powerful. That's right. Speak it until you feel the presence that is never absent. The creator, source, and sustainer who's in you, one with you, and a part of you. You sense the presence within you. Declare and decree it. I am powerful. Who shouted it? Who said it as loud as I said it? Who spoke it as loud as I declared it? I am powerful. Come on, declare it. Come on, speak it. Come on, declare it. Come on, speak it. I am powerful. Let sickness know that you know that I am powerful. Let enemies in your heart and your mind know that I am powerful. Let anything that may dare to try and shut you down, that dares to try to destroy you, know I am powerful. Oh, my goodness, I feel that. I feel that. I sense that. I know that I am powerful. What a wonderful, wonderful thing it is to know that you know that you know that you know that you are powerful. Gratitude and praise alert. Gratitude and praise alert. Type at least one thing in the comment section that you are thankful for. Type at least one thing in the comment section that you give praise and gratitude for. I'm thankful and I give praise, the creator and the source for my life today, for being here present, for being in your midst spiritually and visibly on your screen. I give praise and thanksgiving just for being here. Sometimes you don't know what it takes to be here. Sometimes you don't know what it takes to continue in this present iteration on this continuum. Sometimes you don't know the challenges people face. They want to be alive. I am thankful and I am grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing what you are thankful for. Open your mouth and express gratitude for it right now. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Thank you. 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 I feel it. I sense it. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. I know it. And your thanksgiving has been received. Your thanksgiving is transmitting. Your thanksgiving is radiating into this consciously created universe. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to visit us at patreon.com/AG Green now. If you have not already become a member, this is a good time for you to connect, It's a good time for you to join as a paid member on a paid tier where you get all of these wonderful, wonderful benefits for being connected. Use the discount code REV50 to get 50% off the first month for Patreon. And of course, don't forget to settle in with us on Wednesday nights for Spiritual Awakening. So glad to be able to share that with you. And check out the Divine You podcast. Another new episode will drop this particular week. Thank you. Let's check in. Let's check in. What are you eating and sipping? And tell me how you're feeling in this moment. Thankful and grateful. That's how I'm feeling in this moment. Sipping on some organic mushroom coffee. Tell me, what are you eating and sipping and how you're feeling in this moment? We're checking in with you. Remember, this is the report that you're sharing concerning your own life. We wouldn't dare judge how you interpret your moment by moment reality. Talk to us. What are you eating and sipping and how are you feeling? I'm preparing myself. Some of y'all gonna probably make me hungry or thirsty. But nevertheless, share with your family. What are you and sipping? I told you mine, now you tell me yours. Let's see here what Monica got going. Drinking peppermint tea with lemon and honey this morning. Sounds so healthy, revitalizing, and refreshing. That sounds good. Our resident therapist says fruit, coffee, enjoying the sunlight. Sunlight is good, family, for our state of mind, stimulates certain hormones in the brain. That's good. He said feeling powerful and unstoppable. Wow, y'all are inspiring me today. Let's see. Watch out. Look at our resident mystic. He said he got him some baby back ribs and macaroni salad. Now listen, our resident mystic, Wesley Turk, lives in California. So I think the time zone I'm in, he's 2 hours behind. If I was in the Eastern time zone, I think he was behind me. So most of us are probably in the Central time zone. He's like 2 hours behind us. Y'all see, you calculate what time that is. He up eating baby back ribs and macaroni salad. Watch out now. Sounds delicioso. You got people's mouths wet right now, savoring, drooling. Let's see. Hillary says cinnamon waffles, cheesy eggs and sausage, water, and Dr. Pepper. Wow. Y'all putting together some wonderful, wonderful stuff today. I hope I have a good meal, as good a meal as you all are having right now. Let's see. She says she's making ribs for dinner. Great minds think alike. We're all connected in consciousness. She's making ribs for dinner. Yeah, Monica, I tell you what. Sounds good, don't it? Hey, Linda's with us on YouTube today. Blessings. Good to see you. Thank y'all for sharing. Anybody, were you eating and sipping and how you're feeling in the moment? Wow, they just blew us away with that early morning menu. That early morning tasty, tasteful menu. I gotta expand my vegan game. Sometimes I just get tired of eating. I know I need to discover more foods that I can eat that, that don't require me to have to do a lot of preparation. Because sometimes I just don't want to do it. Just gonna be honest. I'm always binging on the stuff I like, but I need to add to my portfolio. I do miss ribs. I do miss chicken. Y'all got a brother reminiscing right now. Anybody else? What are you eating and sipping? How are you feeling? These are honorable mentions today. She started out with health. That's what I'm talking about. He backed her up with some more health. And he set it off. My baby back ribs, macaroni salad. cinnamon waffles and cheesy eggs and sausage. Watch out now. Y'all doing big things. As somebody would say, big things early in the morning. Let's see, watch out what Monica said. Vegan ribs are a thing. I've made them for my son before, and they are awesome. Oh, I need some of them vegan ribs in my life. I'm going to have to find them. Tell me where I can get them, or do you make them from scratch, Monica? Do you make them from scratch, or can I buy them from someplace? Because I've seen some in the stores. I've ordered some once or twice. I think from Walmart. I was not impressed with it. But yes, they do have such thing as vegan ribs. You either know how to make them yourself, or you can go to a vegan restaurant where they make them using a combination of different ingredients, and it does taste like actual ribs. Yes, sir. They got them. Monica, I appreciate it if you share how you prepare yours or where you get yours from. I need to expand my repertoire of foods in the vegan world. And I tell people I might not stay this way forever. I've been this way for a while, but right now I like the healthy lifestyle. I do like how I feel. Let's see here. She says, I made them from scratch and bought them from a restaurant. Yeah, Morningstar has some. They're all right. I think that might be the one I tried, Morningstar, and they weren't all of that to me. Okay, made them from scratch. I'm not going to even ask you to send the recipe because I'm not going to attempt to make it from scratch. Loud. All right. Thank y'all so much for sharing what you're eating and sipping on today. Who's been to Patreon lately? Talk to me. Who's been to Patreon lately? Tell me what you think about the latest articles. As I have even told you, the audio version of the podcast automatically is synced to Patreon now. So as soon as it hits the market, our spiritual community is able to listen to it. And I'm going to have to do a better job of giving you all the podcast YouTube channel so you can also watch it if you want to. But real quickly, let me know and who's been monitoring Patreon, checking the posts, so forth and so on, and how it's impacting you. We got a new empowerment series that is posting every single day. And of course, we're about to switch and transition into some new article series for you. And we just did part 4 of the Power of Consistency that we released on Friday. All right. Let's see here. Monica's talking about, she says it's her favorite. Okay. 18-year-old was vegan for 10 years. Got it. Wow. That's impressive of him. And she had to figure some stuff out. Wonderful. All right. Who's been checking Patreon? Who's been keeping up with it? Let me know how you're feeling. Patreon check. Community check. And I'm going to just start popping in there and just having conversations, not necessarily teaching on any particular subject. I might call it Let's Talk, Let's Vibe, something like that. And we just dialogue. And again, I have the power to bring many of you on stage with me. You can talk in the little windows, or you can talk to me through the comment section. How many of y'all would like us to do that within Patreon? Kind of like a Let's Talk, Let's Vibe Together session where we just communicate about whatever. It could be what's happening in your day. It could be about what's going on in the news. It could be about fashion. It could be about anything. Let's see here as it relates to Patreon. Our resident therapist says it's a part of daily disciplines now. I've listened to the last live drop. Thank you so much, sir. Consistency is not about effort, but essence. That's his quote from the Powerful Consistency Part 4 that he put together. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Our resident mystic says, good articles. And I think this is in response to Let's Talk, Let's Vibe. Maybe I'll call it Let's Talk, Let's Vibe. And I'll pop up in there. We'll set it up in advance so everybody will know when we're going to do it. And we just, chill and have conversation. Okay, thank you. Monica says that would be cool. Anybody else? Patreon, let's talk, let's vibe. Maybe somebody can remember that name for me, or do I need to write it down? Let's talk, let's vibe. Maybe that's what I'll call it. Let's talk, let's vibe. And we'll just come together and have mere discussions. Now, remember, if you're just joining the paid tiers, there are scores and scores of informational articles right now, family, within the Patreon community. If you've got questions about the Bible and its origins, if you've got questions about manifestation, if you've got questions about deconstructing religion, all of these wonderful things, I want you to check it out. There's wonderful series in there and new series coming up for folks in the paid tiers. And it's for you. It is for you. It is for your growth. It is for your development. It is for your empowerment. All right. I spend time researching these subjects, putting content together so that I can empower you. All right. Appreciate you so much. We're going to get into some teaching today. Our resident therapist, as usual, is going to put on the screen what installment we're in right now. Linda says, I love it. Thank you so much, Linda. Now, Linda is one of our seasoned, mature people in our community. I believe she's 68 years young. And then our resident mystic, Wesley Turk, I believe he's around 73 years young. All right. And I sense them from a distance that they are young and vibrant. They are young and vibrant. All right. They are models for us along the way. And I so appreciate it. I hear from both of them usually. They text or inbox me different messages at different times. And I appreciate them. As a pastor in the church, I always loved the mature, the seasoned. As it related to the mothers, we would call them the church mothers. I would fight for them. So I love the season. I love all, of course, but I have a special place in my heart for the mature among us. I thank y'all. Just want to give you some love. The challenges to manifesting faith. The challenges to manifesting faith is what we have been discussing with you. Okay. And we are going to use a thematic text, Psalm 105:19, Psalm 105:19. And we've been, I believe, in a discussion in Genesis 16:2. Genesis 16:2, but we're going to start with Psalm 105. I guess it's 17 through 19. Let me turn my other monitor on here so I can move that which is on my screen backwards and forwards. Let's see. This is part 4. Okay. Here's the King James Version. Our resident therapist is putting King James up for us today. Our other assistant is traveling. Okay. Let's see. He sent a man before him, even Joseph, who was sold for a servant, whose feet they hurt with feathers. He was laid in iron. Verse 19, until the time that his word came, the word of the Lord tried him. And that would be more appropriately interpreted as tested him. Okay. All right, let's see here. The NIV will come up with that text in just a few minutes. Yosef, or whom we call Joseph, we talked a little bit about the background of his story a few weeks ago. Believed to be chosen amongst his family for greatness, was inspired in a dream. And within that particular dream, all right, put up the text for us. Waiting on you, Hillary, to put up the text. Copy and paste the text. He had a dream. We shared with you from that dream. Jealousy was originated, or I should say, spawned or was created within his fellow brethren. Initially, there was a desire to kill him. His oldest brother talked his youngest brothers out of that. He ended up being put in the pit While his oldest brother was gone, they sold him into slavery. And that's how he ends up in Egypt. He did well because excellence always rises to the top at Potiphar's house. He did well when he was cast in prison for something he did not do. And he rose to the top in prison and eventually served Potiphar, excuse me, not Potiphar, but Pharaoh by interpreting a dream and became the second in command, placed over all the storehouses in Egypt. This is the King James Version, uh, right quickly, excuse me, NIV, I'm sorry, that Hillary has just put up. So this is kind of the backdrop or the thematic portion of our presentation. And we talked about Joseph for 1 and 2 installments. We talked about him. We talked about his life. We talked about some of the challenges that he was facing. I can definitely identify with the life of Joseph, and I'm sure many of you all can. In this 4th installment, all right, I want to continue to advance this conversation with you. And we're going to begin today revisiting Genesis 16, 2 through 3. And Sarai said unto Abram, behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. We discussed this a little bit. And verse 3, and Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. Hearken to the voice of Sarah. I want our resident therapist to find the text where the tension begins when Ishmael is teasing Isaac. And I want you to put that up for us, our resident therapist who has I believe, a master's degree himself in theology. I want you to put that up for us, sir. I haven't covered that. I just want to briefly mention that. And this is verse 3. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. All right. The handmaid becomes the wife. This is NIV. So she said to Abram, the Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her. Verse 3, and Abram agreed to what Sarah said. So after Abraham had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarai, his wife, took her Egyptian slave Hagar and gave her to her husband to be his wife. All right, powerful, powerful. There are a couple of different things that I want to kind of discuss with you, some subjects that I've already started. And the first thing I want to share with you is how there can be a particular frustration that develops within our psychological, mental, intellectual framework when it appears that that which we've prayed, meditated, and are desiring to manifest seems that it's not going to happen, or seems as if it's somehow, some way being delayed. In this particular case, uh, yes, she's putting up right now, look like Hillary 18, so that's good. Particular case, and I'm glad this is good. I needed this to come up. It came up right on time. She was promised an offspring, promised a seed. God, the creator, says, I'm going to return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, will have a son. Sarah was listening in the entrance of the tent behind him. And this is when the creator is believed to have taken on a physical mortal body, or mortal type body, I should say. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. Some people believe she was 90 at this time, or maybe 89. And Abram, maybe about 99, both approaching the year of 100 for Abram and 90 for Sarah. Could not biologically produce children, but a promise was made. And I remind many of you all, you've either heard the Creator speak to you personally, or maybe you've heard the Creator through other people speak things into your life and speak things into your heart that you knew was you, or you knew was a version of you, or spoke to you in terms of what you believe your destiny is, or what you believe your destiny was. And in this particular case, Sarah, who later became Sarah, would heed the voice of her husband, heed the faith of her husband, follow the faith of her husband. And this is pretty much what we see throughout the text, is that she had faith in the faith of her husband. And let me make a comment on that while I'm showing you Genesis 21. Okay, good. We're going to cover that in a few minutes. Thank you, sir, for putting that up, finding that. Um, you are creating or co-creating your own reality. And what I'm going to say is that sometimes you do latch on to the faith of other people in certain moments to get you through. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that, just as long as when you are taking cues from a good faith master or a person who is a great example in demonstrating what this state of consciousness is, because remember, faith is a state of consciousness. You should eventually adopt it as you, as a part of you, as a part of your own, and live out that own experience. Now, this reminds me of something my mother said to me down through the years. My father was a pastor for 48 years before he transitioned. And in the framework of his religious experience, he was a solid, strong man of God who had deep convictions about his beliefs. There are a few of you all in the comment section who knew him or knew of him, straight as an arrow, known by his contemporaries, by his peers, as straight as an arrow, non-compromising in his convictions. And she said to me for many years, I had faith in your father's faith. She said to me for many years, she said, I basically rode on your father's faith, believed in his faith, in his understanding, until I developed my own. And she was letting me know there was a time she didn't believe certain things. She didn't understand certain things. She could not grasp certain things. She did not have, at a particular time, have what he had. So instead of her fighting and disputing the faith walk he had and the things he led her and our family to do, she said, I believed in his faith. And then one day, from believing in his faith and developing her own relationship with God, creator, source, and sustainer, now she has her own perspective and perception and faith and reality creation based on what's inside of her. This is what Sarah did for many years. She laughed when she heard the source say she was going to get pregnant. She just didn't think it could happen. She didn't think it would happen. We don't see anywhere mentioned in these texts in Genesis where Abraham ever doubted, or his name was later changed to Abraham, where he ever doubted. He believed, family, in what was revealed to him by his creator, that I'm going to somehow, some way be able to get this woman pregnant, and I'm going to have a child, a seed, an offspring with her. She struggled, but he had the faith. Check this out. I shared with you the different kinds of reasonings according to Frank Damasio. He says everyone who has a word or promise must deal with the reasoning tests. And this is true if you have a conviction in your heart about destiny, if it's been revealed to you in a dream about greatness, or if you have a thought and idea that you know is inspired, divinely inspired, family, Don't be surprised when a test presents itself like it did with Joseph. He was tried, he was tested. As much as I would like to eliminate, family, testing from the manifestation process, no matter how great you are as a manifester, family, there are times that tests will pop up. I'm going to say it again. No matter how great you are as a manifester, no matter how finely tuned you are with the end and the outcome, things will pop up, family, in your world that will act as a test. A test, watch this, to contradict the final outcome. Let's go on and type this in the comment section. Tests are a part of the journey. Type this in the comment section. Tests are a part of the journey. Listen to me. People will say, well, God's sending the test. They will say the universe is sending the test. Listen, to me, it's not even relevant at this point as to why the tests pop up. I don't believe it's all attributed to that. I believe some of it is attributed to the fact that we are not always completely sold in faith or convinced. And I think that there are times we leave room for doubt to present itself through a test to challenge us. However it is, it manifests, family. You're going to experience tests. I cannot definitively tell you that tests are not a part of the journey, because tests are a part of the journey. And the question is, when something pops up to contradict whatever it is you know in faith, whatever it is you have confiscated by faith, whatever it is you have owned by faith, whatever it is you believe by faith, listen, family, a test is going to be rendered. A test is going to be given. There is something like it did with Joseph that's going to test your dreams, that's going to test your testimonies, that's going to test your declarations, that's going to test your relationship with God, that's going to test, watch this, the new version of you that's trying to emerge. It's going to happen. Now, the reason I want to listen, this is not in my notes. This is coming to me while I'm talking, the whole testing thing and all that. So I want to place an emphasis on this. I want to place an emphasis on this. I don't want you to say to yourself so emphatically that tests are coming that you create the test. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, just be prepared to pass the test. That's good. That's good, AG. Just be prepared to pass the test. I want you to type it in the comment section. I must be prepared to pass the test. Type that in the comment section for me. I must be prepared to pass the test. Let me know if you can still hear me and see me well. Let me know if you can still hear me and see me well. I must be prepared to pass the test. So I don't want you to be thinking so hard about the test that a test is test. You know, people develop test anxiety like that. They develop a fear. Oh, it's going to be something that's going to try me. It's going to be something that's going to test me. No. Don't focus on the test. Focus on embodying the answers to the test. Focus on knowing the answers to the test. Don't fixate on the test. Don't obsess about the test. Don't worry about the test. Just know the answers. Thank you. Just know the answers. I'm asking y'all about seeing me and hearing me because in my module, it's showing me that I got 0 viewers. And I know I got more than that because y'all commenting. When you comment, I know you're still here. So this is a glitch in the StreamYard module that I'm using right now. Know the answers to the test. If you know the answers to the test, you don't have to concern yourself about the test. That's good. If you know the answers to the test, you don't have to fret about the test. Because whenever the tests pop up, you have the answers. Watch this. You don't just have the answer. I am, which is you, is the answer. I want you to type it in the comment section. I am the answer to every test. That's powerful. Type that in the comment section. I am the answer to every test. I am the answer to the test. If you know I am the answer, meaning I possess the answer. I embody the answer. I'm also one with God, creator, source, and sustainer, who has all the answers. I took you to a text weeks ago that I used to teach and preach on often. You have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. All answers are in you. The question is, have you applied yourself? Have you applied yourself to uh, apply the knowledge? Have you applied yourself to absorb the knowledge? Have you applied the knowledge to yourself? Have you applied the knowledge to certain areas of your life where growth and development is necessary? Have you applied the knowledge and the answers that are within you to weak points in your life? Apparently, Yosef or Joseph had done a great job with this, because every time he was tested, he passed the test, at least the significant test that we see mentioned in scripture. Sarah, not so much. Not so much with Sarah. Sarah struggled, and I would not dare hate on Sarah. I would not dare paint Sarah in a negative light, because Sarah was conditioned, number one, religiously. She had religious conditioning. She had religious reasoning. She said within her religious reasoning, and Sarah said unto Abram, behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. Now, I already covered this. I'm just going to go over it again. In other words, she said, it's God who's keeping me from having children. Again, this is false evidence. The Creator never made her barren, just like the Creator has not made people barren on this planet. I'm just going to say it. There are a lot of folks out here blaming stuff on God that has nothing to do with God. It is your body. Do you realize you have a brain and a body? People literally think that God is creating everybody. It's not true. You are birthed, family, from 23 chromosomes from your mother and your father, joined to make 46 in one cell. The impregnation takes place, okay? And you start out as a zygote, then an embryo, and develop from there. And whatever physical things are going on within you, even mental and physical things are going on within you, family, they are a result, family, of your genetic encoding. She literally thought she was barren because God wanted her to be barren. And again, if you want to make her barren because you think God made her barren, you are renegotiating the text, meaning you are shifting the meaning, you're moving the goalposts, you are changing the meaning. There are so many people who think God is doing sinister, evil, mean stuff. And I understand why, because you see God doing stuff like killing people and having folks in the Old Testament killing women and children and everything. I don't even want to get into that. You need to go to Patreon and join and read some of my background articles on the Bible. I want you to understand that if you're facing a situation, say you're sick, say you have a disease, or say somebody walked off and left you, or say somebody wounded and bruised you, stop saying God wanted that to happen to me. Stop saying God let that happen to me so I can be better. Those things do not have to happen for you or to you to be a better person. Sarah blamed God. So her religion, her religious reasoning said, the God that I serve, the God that I believe in, is the very one who made me like this. It's quiet. I can't see if I'm getting any likes and hearts. Am I making any sense to anybody? Why would a God need to curse you to turn around to bless you? Why would an omnipotent being be that insecure that it needs to do that to get your attention? Her religious reasoning blamed God for it. And again, we got people blaming God and the devil for everything, including their own actions. And people have created a spirit for everything. No, it's you. When we do this, we are shifting the onus and the blame of responsibility on something else instead of accepting it for ourselves. It's not something else, it's you. I want you to catch that. It's you. It's I. It's me. She spiritualized it. And I tell you, I can't do lengthy conversations with people who spiritualize everything, because when you spiritualize everything, you're moving into the superstition and the mythological. That's what you're moving into. Things that are abstract and imaginary that we make true in our own cognitive bias, confirmation bias, AKA, that's a part of a reality tunnel that has nothing to do with the highest order of spiritual laws, spiritual principles, and spiritual being. Her religion taught her, told her, oh, God did this to me. You lost your job. Oh, God did this to me. He did this to me because I didn't do that. He's punishing me. He's getting back at me. He's whipping me. And yes, I know you're looking at scriptures about chastening. And so then you think that this is a moment and a time while I'm being chastened and I'm being chastised. Walking around here with a bunch of guilt and shame and feeling powerless. Hear what I'm saying today. If you believe that God is putting curses on you and making you barren and causing you not to prosper, you are powerless in that moment to change your situation. You would literally feel powerless, because you would say, how can I defeat the creator? How can I rise above the source? If the source is making me struggle and suffer and go through, I can't change that. That would be the result of what somebody would eventually think. This woman literally thought her creator made her barren. 16b, good source reasoning. I pray thee go in unto my maid. It may be that I'm children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarah. So this is another thing we do when we don't understand God, the source, the divine, what's happening right now. We're going to make up things along the way. We're going to make up things along the way. So the first question I have for you is, what are you making up, or what are you creating as a substitute for manifestation? What are you making up as a substitute for the fulfillment? For the fulfillment of the dream, for the fulfillment of the vision? What are you trying to use as a substitute? What are you making up? The second thing I'm going to ask you, family, is if you're Abram or Abraham in this text, because you could be either role or both roles in this text. We can be either role or both roles in this text. Believe it or not, you can be God in this text. You can be Sarah in this text. You can be Abram in this text. If you are Abram, why are you listening to someone who's telling you something that's the opposite of the promise? Why are you listening to someone who is speaking opposite of who and what really is, what has been prophesied to you, what has been spoken to you, what has been released to you in your life? Catch that. So I got to ask you, who are you listening to? Are you listening to people who are inspiring greatness, or are you listening to people who are questioning your greatness? Are you listening to people who are not speaking things that's in alignment with the best version of who and what you are? Or are you listening to resources like Abram did, which in this case was his spouse and his wife, which he should listen to, but not compromise his faith, not compromise the revelation that was revealed to him, not compromise the higher message that was revealed to him from his source? You should never, ever compromise the message of faith for anybody. You should never, ever compromise the message that you know came from God and the Creator for anybody. And we will allow people to talk us into substitutes. Wow. Catch this. God never said in the previous text, I'm going to do this through your handmaid. You didn't read that. You didn't see that. He told her it was going to come through her by this time next year, this season next year. You're going to be pregnant. She decided within herself, it's taking too long for this to happen, so it must be happening another way. I've seen people, hear me, get substitute jobs. When I say substitute jobs, it's not your real job, or it's not something that you could be doing. I've seen people, don't get me wrong, we take what we can take at times to get our hustle on. But what I'm saying is you go to a job as a cashier and you're frustrated. Hear what I'm saying today? You're frustrated because you know I'm more than a cashier. Well, why did you take it? Because so-and-so told you. It's a job. You should just take it. It's not even in your field. It's not even connected to something that you're passionate about. And then you're miserable there. Sometimes it's a substitute in terms of what we choose educationally. Sometimes it's a substitute in who we choose as a romantic partner. Sometimes it's a substitute in what we choose to focus on ministerially or in service of people. It's not always the thing that's in alignment with our hearts, but sometimes we listen to people who encourage us to go down the path we should not even be going down, not recognizing that that choice is going to create complications for us like it did for Abraham and Sarah. It was a test that Sarah had the wrong answers to. Wow. I'm going to say it again. It was a test that both in this moment, Sarah and Abraham had the wrong answers to. Wow. 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 Who's trying to talk you out of praying? Who's trying to talk you out of deconstructing? Who's trying to talk you out of knowing your oneness with God? Who's trying to talk you out of the evolving, transforming, and ascending? Who's using whatever they can use to talk you out of what feels really natural and organic for you? What the direction you're being led in by the divine, the source and the sustainer. I feel this. I feel like running. What resources are you listening to that's casting doubt in your heart? That's challenging the very word of truth. Wow. The very word of power, the very word that's going to bring about dynamic manifestation. So I'm going to ask you the question. I'm going to ask you the question, family. I'm going to ask you the question because as a result of this, Ishmael is eventually born. And let me get to natural instinct reasoning. Let me ask that question later. The next one is natural instinct reasoning. Verse 3. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, and Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan and gave her to her husband, Abram, to be his wife. When we're waiting and marking time, we deal with impatience and instinctive reasoning can set in. Our evaluation of time, our perception of time can motivate us to reach for what's within and pull up what we know. This was a part of the next thing that's cultural reasoning. I'm going to talk about them together. When she gave Hagar to Abram, all marriage contracts in some nations require barren wives to give her husband a woman who could bear children to keep the bloodline going. In this case, family, through natural instinct reasoning, Sarah reached for culture. What culture teaches can contradict spiritual principles. I want you to type that in the comment section. What my natural instincts and culture teach can contradict spiritual law. Type that in the comment section. What natural instincts and cultural reasoning teaches can contradict spiritual law. I feel something moving in me right now. Hallelujah. I've been here. I've done that before in my past life where I'm thinking of my own plans now. I've supposedly prayed. My meditation, I've done my confessions, whatever it is I've done, fasted, all these other things that I did all the time. And in the meantime, because it seems like it's not happening quick enough, I created substitutes. And these substitutes sometimes come from what my culture says that I ought to do. Hear me. The culture is telling some of y'all work as many jobs as it takes with your body linearly to take care of bills. And after you work 3, 4, 5 jobs and you're exhausted, You're not any good for you. You're not any good for your family. And eventually you won't even be any good for the jobs that you're working because the culture has told you this is the answer. Sometimes drugs and alcohol, the culture teaches that that's the answer. Culture of a society. Watch this. There are even family cultures, family. There are cultures where people reach for cultures within their family that's not healthy. It's informing how they make decisions. This is exactly, family, what Sarah did. Reached into her culture and said, my culture says this, but what about what God said? What about what the source said? What about what the creator said? What about what the word says? What about what the revelation you received said? I feel something here. I feel something here. I feel something here. People are doing stuff. Oh, it's acceptable. It's all right. And this is what you got to understand. Yes, you saw other people doing it in your culture or part of your family culture or your city culture or your national culture. But is it contradicting the instructions that you were given? Is it contradicting the message that you received? Is it contradicting what was revealed to you? Because if it's contradicting that, watch this. You can do it and produce a result. Why can you do it and produce a result? Because you are a creator. You are a creator. We can make things happen. At times, it is easier to follow our natural inclination and cultural wisdom, to use our own resources to bring the blessing we desperately desire. Unbelief focuses on power to make things happen, end quote, Frank Damasio. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. In the moment, Sarah just did not believe God. She did not believe her creator. She did not believe the source. I'm just going to be honest. There was unbelief there. Why would you say this? Because you would have pictured it and envisioned it, watch this, and stayed in the end state of you being a pregnant woman yourself, not visualizing the pregnancy was coming through somebody else, not shifting from what was told to you to renegotiate it to kind of fit the word that was spoken to you by your creator by saying, oh, this is coming through another situation. This is coming through another person. Am I making any sense to anybody? And I love telling this story. I love telling this story because you and I, if we access the spiritual, we can see things in the future. And I remember telling a lady years ago, I was running a revival, and I told her the kind of car she was going to get. I told her the color she was going to get. I told her it was going to be a white van. Well, she's thinking, I don't even want a white van, and she wasn't really even looking. Weeks went by, something started going on with her car. She just started looking for cars. And she went to this car lot and started looking. Actually, she said she had received something in the mail. That's what it was. That was going to give her a deal on the car. So she went out car shopping. She was looking at all kinds of colors of cars, test driving all kinds of colors of cars. Watch this. Didn't like the color of the cars. Not the color of the cars. I take that back. She liked the colors. That's why she looked for blue and black and red and all these. But she didn't like the cars itself until the salesman said, I got something for you. He pulled up a white minivan that she later told me was the best car he had on the lot and said to her, why don't you try this one? And that's the car she ended up with. Now, hear what I'm saying today. Hear what I'm saying today. When something has really divinely been spoken, if a person, I don't care if they're a wino or a drunk or a dope addict, this is what people don't understand. God, the creator, is a part of them, one with them, and can speak any truth to you. I've had drunks on the street prophesy to me. You thought they couldn't hear God. You thought God wasn't with them. You thought that I've had drug addicts give me a word. Y'all quiet. It might be quiet, but it's the truth. When the truth is spoken from the divine through the person, it is a reality. It is up to us to embrace it. It is up to us to accept it. It is up to us to receive it. So she went with the flow and ended up getting that white van that I eventually saw with my own eyes because it was meant for her. Now she could have chose, family, a blue one. She could have chose, family, a green vehicle, the lesser vehicles, but she remembered what she heard. And I'm challenging and encouraging you today. Remember what you heard. My God. Remember your conviction of faith. Ooh, I feel this. Who is this for today besides me? Stand on what you know. Now, our resident therapist put this text up. Let me show you what can happen. Let me look at my time. I got a few more minutes. Let me show you what can happen when we renegotiate and change something. Genesis 21. And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. Now, Isaac is the child of Sarah and Abraham. This baby eventually came, according to the text. This baby was born. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, which was not just his handmaid anymore. We read in the text was his wife, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking Isaac. His name is Ishmael. So Ishmael, the son of Hagar and Abraham, is mocking Isaac, the son of Sarah and Abraham, the one that's supposed to be the promised seed, the one that Sarah ended up giving birth to. Hold up, wait a minute. She gave her another woman as a substitute to bring forth a baby, and she ends up having a baby anyway, just the way it was prophesied, just the way it was told to her. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman. Now she a bondwoman. And her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. And the thing was grievous in Abraham. Yes, it was grievous, because you are asking, watch this, you're asking him to change the situation that you initiated, that he completely agreed with. You went in, you told him to go in and make love and have sex with this woman so she could get pregnant. She got pregnant because you told me to go in. He should have said no, but yet his wife said maybe this is the way. He's even thinking culturally at this point, okay, my wife is thinking this is the way. Maybe this is the way. Maybe it's not the way that I'll say. Now you got two children instead of one. Now there's friction, there's jealousy, there's envy that has crept in. And you're asking a man who loves a child that you told him to birth through this woman to get rid of it. Don't just get rid of the mother, get rid of the child. Verse 11 and 12. Sight because of his son. Was grievous, let me go back, was grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad and because of the bondwoman and all that Sarah hath said unto thee. Hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be blessed. And we later on go on to know that some people believe that the modern day Arabs are descendants of Ishmael, and some other things are said in the text in terms of what the lineage of Ishmael would be. I wanted you to see this text because this complication would not have existed. It would not have even existed had they not manifested another way. I want you to type in the comment section. You can manifest another solution that's not the best one. I feel this. Type it in the comment section. I can manifest another solution that's not the best one. Type that in the comment section. I can manifest another solution that's not the best one. And this is what gets people. People will say, and I've seen it down through the years as a pastor, I've seen, and I didn't know what I was seeing at the time. I was seeing a higher, better version of them on a different timeline that was achieving a certain thing through a certain passageway, a certain gateway, or whatever. And I shared it with them prophetically. And then people would do something different. Watch this. And they would come back and say, see, it still worked out. See, they would do like Sarah.
Sarah could have easily said, bam, there it is. You got a baby. See, just like I said it. It's just like I said it. They manifested this. Her and Abraham and Hagar manifested this outcome. And they could have easily said, see, it worked. See, it worked. Watch this. Everything is good, family. Everything would be pretty good in that situation until something in alignment or something reveals to you is exactly what was spoken to you or shown to you that was actually the best thing for you. Bam, there it is. It shows up. There it is. There it is. And when that thing shows up, now tension is created. The tension is created when Sarah gets pregnant, because Sarah now realizes, oh, God was right. Oh, the source was right. I manifested this, but I'm actually pregnant. My belly has a child in it. I could not. This is powerful. This is divine. This is wonderful. This is heavenly. I am bearing this child myself, just as it was told to me. Now I favor this manifestation over the one that I created. I'm going to say it again. I favor this manifestation over the other manifestation. That's the best way of saying it. You can manifest something, but is it the best something? Is it the best version? Is it the best choice? Is it the best option? Hear what I'm saying today. Part of the hallmark of what I teach to you is you can manifest anything you want to. But the question is, will it be to our best benefit to sidestep the blueprint that the Creator has revealed to us? And from our own desperation, see, that's what it was with Sarah. I want you to type this in the comment section. I want you to type this in the comment section. Type this in the comment section. Manifestation from desperation. Type that in the comment section. Manifestation from desperation. Manifestation from desperation. What is our resident therapist talking about here? He said, look for a husband. Type that in the comment section. Manifestation from desperation. Manifestation from desperation. So I'm going to ask y'all a question while you're watching, while you're typing that in the comment section. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you did something not exactly what she did, but you decided that you were going to help God, you were going to help the Creator by coming up with your own idea of what a solution should be for that? Have you ever done that before? Let me see. Let me see. I've done it many times. I can talk about it and I can own it because I've done it. But have you ever done that? Have you ever had manifestation from your desperation? Type that in the comment section. I got one yes. Put these up here. I got one yes here. Anybody else? I'm a yes too. I have manifested from desperation. I had manifestation from desperation. Yes, I have tried to help. Okay. There's another one. Thank you for your transparency. Anybody else? There's another one. There's another one. All right. Thank you so much for your honesty. It happens. I know I'm talking in this authoritative tone, but it's a tone of love. It happens. When the test pops up, and remember, it's how you take the test. It's how you respond to the test. It's the answers you place on the test that determines the outcome of the test. I feel like running right now. My God. The only thing that's required for us to make it through that moment and not develop the complications that Sarah did was have the right answers to the test. And what Sarah did was, in the moment, out of desperation, she didn't answer correctly. She didn't answer correctly. I'm encouraging you right now to know that to trust God is to trust the process. Type that in the comment section. To trust God is to trust the process. I'm going to have to shut it down here. Type that in the comment section. To trust God is to trust the process. Type that in the comment section. To trust God, family, is to trust the process. And as I prepare to end this presentation today, I want to expand on this thought for the next few minutes that I have shared with you over the last several weeks. The divine details in terms of the fulfillment or the answer to prayers, the answer to your meditations, the answer to your faith is not your business. It is not your business. We get in trouble when we are constantly, watch this, without divine inspiration, but in our own, drawing from our own knowledge bank of experiences, trying to outdo higher wisdom. Wow, I feel this. I feel this, family. Trying to combat higher wisdom, trying to combat higher authority. Yeshua says, my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. When we are consistently and constantly trying to combat higher knowledge, higher wisdom, trying to analyze what has not been revealed, trying to decide, again, you live in the end. Sarah's job was to see herself with a pregnant belly. Sarah's job was to prepare herself for impregnation and delivery. Sarah's job was to prepare her heart and her mind to be inseminated, to be impregnated. Sarah's job was to prepare herself for a child that already existed, but needed to manifest in her belly. The details belong to the Creator. The details belong to the source. The details belong to God. And as some folk would say, the details belong to the universe. And I know sometimes it looks like it's slapstick together, but it's not slapstick together. A series of events that seem to be unrelated, when we leave it up to God in terms of details, will connect itself in your life to bring you to an end that you believed in the beginning, to bring you to an end that you saw from the beginning, to bring you to the fulfillment of the thing that you saw in your dream, or the thing you saw in your vision, or the thing that you declared and decreed with your mouth that was final, that was done. Oh, my goodness. Do not think that you should micromanage the Spirit of God. Do not think you should micromanage the Creator. Stop thinking that it is your job to create the details of how this thing, the intricacies, the inner workings, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the inner steps of how it works out. Our job is to be ready for when we receive the inspired action to do this, make the call. For when we receive the inspired action to reach out. For when we receive the inspired action to research. For when we receive the inspired action to negotiate. Our job is to be open and prepared, so that when the message tells us to step here or go there or dial this number or have this conversation, watch this, or say this particular prayer, or take steps within to shift from where we are now to the state that we need to be in to actually see this thing come into our lives. Our job is to follow guidance. Oh, I feel it. I feel it. It's not for you. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Hear what I'm saying today. Catch this, and I got to be done. I got to be done. Family, it is natural, a natural inclination. I'm going to say it is a linear response for us to say, how am I going to pay for something? You know why? Because you and I have been conditioned that we've got to use intellectual reasoning to figure things out. And that's true. We do as we navigate through this space. need our minds. But when you as a spirit family start accessing this spiritual you, the spiritual God, the spiritual law, spiritual principles, family, that are above the natural. It is not what happens in the spirit that's reasoning, natural reasoning that makes the thing happen. It is spiritual knowledge. It is spiritual awareness. It is knowing. It is understanding, hear me, that is above linear concepts, above the linear construct, above the natural way of doing things. And this is our challenge. Our challenge is learning how to check out of the natural organic way and purely rely on ourselves as spirit that's one with God as spirit and access the spiritual dimension and spiritual laws to get it done. You read about a supernatural Messiah. You read about a supernatural Yeshua that took 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish and fed 5,000. Whether you believe it or not, you see supernatural exploits from Yeshua. You see supernatural exploits from spiritual people, spirits who possess a soul and live in a body. Hear me. You know good and well you can't take 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, which is totally different than what we consider to be loaves today and the size of fish, and feed from a natural linear perspective 5,000 people. You know linearly and naturally and according to 3-dimensional laws, according to laws of physics and everything else, you know that's not even possible. So the only way it can happen would be supernaturally, meaning an access of spiritual energy and spiritual power from spiritual dimensions within itself to be able to manifest such an outcome. I want you to catch what I'm saying today. So when you and I are planning things for the future, and you are elevating, you are evolving, you are transforming, you are ascending into a higher place, a higher space, and a higher dimension. Watch this: to occupy a home, to occupy a career, to occupy a job, or to experience inner healing, or to experience physical healing, or to have the business, or to have the ministry, or to have the romance and the relationship. Stop approaching it from a pure linear perspective. If thou canst believe, Yeshua said all things are possible to him that believeth. That's spiritual. That's a spiritual perspective. That's a spiritual perception. That's a spiritual law. Hear what I'm saying today. And when you take that route, then the power of the spirit is what decides what the plan is and orchestrates and organizes the outcome to get you to the end. Watch this: organizes the steps and the paces and the scenarios and the events that push it to the final state that you saw in terms of it being done. Yeshua saw 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish feeding 5,000. You and I have to see from that place. We have to see from that space. Come on here, somebody. We have to operate from that place. We have to create and manifest from that place within ourselves. So that means it's not my job to know how it gets worked out. It's not my job to figure out the outcome, how it gets to the outcome. My job is to just sit in the finished work. My job is to sit in the place where it's already manifested, where I already have the thing, where I already possess the thing, where I'm already driving the thing, where I'm already kissing the thing, making love to the thing, whatever it is. My job is to sit in the end of it all. Hallelujah. And let God, let the source decide exactly the details of the plan. I love you. Talk back to me. Am I making any sense to anybody? Am I making any sense to anybody? I hope you could hear me coming through loud and clear. I hope that what I said today resonates deeply within you. And I hope that you take your hands off the wheel after you have seen it done. Hear me. And I'm going to say it again. I don't say you do nothing. I speak about inspired action. I speak about action that the Spirit inspires you to do. After you see it, then the Spirit may say, do this. The Spirit may say, go over here. The Spirit may say, visit this situation tonight. The Spirit may say, text so and so. The Spirit may say, open up the internet and search for cars. Come on here. The Spirit may say, go down the street. I've shared this testimony with y'all before, how a gentleman I know found himself in the city, no family there, was there with a girlfriend, and everything fell apart in his life. He was living in a house with no electricity. He had running water, but no electricity, lights out in the dead of winter time. But he had a construction business. And he said he called a friend that was a bishop and asked him to pray with him. And that friend who was a bishop gave him what we call a prophetic word and told him, he said, I don't know what this means, but he gave him some street names. He said, you need to go down on that street corner and stand. He said, what? He said, I don't know what it means either. He said, I'm just telling you what's coming through now. You need to go down to a specific street and you need to stand. So guess what? He followed the word of the prophet. He ended up on that street corner. While he was down on that street corner, he went in. He needed to borrow a pen or something, he said. I think he went to the bathroom and needed to borrow a pen or something while he was in there. The place he went into was a newspaper. And he said while he was standing there, the receptionist was talking to him. And eventually, I think he said the editor or the owner came out the back and started talking to him and said, who are you and what's going on? And he said, well, I'm this, that, and the other. He said, well, we've been looking for certain kinds of stories. Can you tell us what's going on in your life? The man started telling him what was going on in his life. By the time he finished, they wrote an article on the man about his hardships and the skill level he had, so forth and so on. And then they put his phone number in the article. Within the next 2 days, he had more jobs that he could handle. From those jobs, he was able to make money to get his lights back on, pay his rent, do the other things he needed to do, all because, family, he obeyed a divine voice. Watch this, that knew all the details. They didn't have to tell them in advance. When you stand on that street corner, you're going to go inside the newspaper. When you go inside the newspaper, the receptionist is going to strike up a conversation with you that's going to lead to the editor or the owner getting involved, which is going to lead to an article getting written about you. Then they're going to put your phone number on there and encourage people to support you, which is going to lead to tens of thousands of dollars worth of business, which is going to get you out of the financial hole that you're in. God didn't need to say all that. The divine didn't need to say all that. The only thing it said that came through the man who received the message was just go stand on this street corner in downtown, blah, blah, blah. I want you to type it in the comment section. The details of my miracle are not my business. Type that in the comment section. The details of my miracle are not my business. The details of my miracle are not my business. That's right. Divine details are not my business. I got one last thing to say to you. You see the giving opportunities at the bottom of the screen. If you want to sow into this moment, give into this moment, you most certainly can do that. I got one more thing I'm going to remind you of, and I'm going to release you. One more thing I'm going to remind you of, and I'm going to release you. I just saw this happen in the life of a loved one over the last 3 to 4 days. Something I've been preaching, they watch, ran into some situations and circumstances. A couple of folk on here who have been saying this, other than isn't it wonderful, I've had to remind them of this and saw miracles. The next thing I want you to type is circumstances don't matter. Come on, type that in the comment section. Circumstances don't matter. Type that in the comment section. Circumstances don't matter. I feel that so strong. Circumstances don't matter. I just witnessed it firsthand with a person who was going through all kinds of complications to get what typically is simple done, but persisted in faith, resisting the pop up tests, which were a part of a large, what appeared to be a large set of circumstances, just to see the end manifest and fulfilled. Because circumstances don't matter. Family, I don't know all of your situations. I don't know most of your situations. But if you're like Abraham and Sarah, and you have been given a charge, been given a word, it's been revealed to you that greatness is upon you, and greatness is to manifest. An idea, it doesn't matter what it is. Circumstances that appear to be contradictory don't matter. What is required of you is the same thing that was required of Abraham and Sarah. Trust God and trust the process. Next week, we're going to get a little bit deeper into this subject. Tell me what you're thinking. How did this message find you today? How did this message impact you today? Real quickly, talk to me. Talk to me real quickly. How are you feeling? Mm-hmm. Did this message speak to you? Did you hear the Creator? Did you hear the Divine talking to you this morning? Talk to me. I want to know. I want to hear. I want you to reveal right now in this moment what's on your heart, what's on your mind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a quick prayer over you. Almighty, I thank you. Every word that has gone forth out of your mouth, which is in my mouth, out of your mind, which is a part of my mind, shall not return unto me void. It shall accomplish that which I please. And it's going to prosper in the thing whereto you sent it. Thank you. That the word, these seeds, this energy, this power, this presence, your anointing is active, powerfully active in them. And I thank you and I bless you right now that it is done, that it is complete, that it is finished. And they will see quickly at an accelerated rate the fulfillment of the promise. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. By Yeshua's name, his power, his consciousness, his way. It is so, and so it is. If you run into a test this week, remember these words. Circumstances don't matter. If you run into what appears to be opposition and you feel like giving up, remind yourself that circumstances don't matter. If you receive a no, if you receive some form of what feels like it's not going to happen, if you receive a message that is the antithesis, it's the opposite, it is
polar opposite of where you've been standing in faith. Remind yourself the circumstances don't matter. Know that you 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 know that it is done. Paul said something very powerful. When you've done all to stand, Paul said, stand. Sometimes we've done all that we are aware to do, but it's enough. The conviction is enough. The faith is enough. And it looks like, it feels like it's not working. Sometimes that contrary voice, that antagonist is speaking in our head, saying to us, this is not working. This stuff don't work. You've been believing this faith stuff, this metaphysical stuff, this spiritual stuff, it don't work. When you hear that voice, stand. When it seems like things are crumbling, falling apart, like what you saw was a lie. It's looking like what you saw can't happen. It's looking like what you feel is going to lead to more disappointment. Paul said, stand. I'm going to be honest. There are many days. The only thing I've had is my faith. It's a very deep personal thing for me. Many times the only thing I had was what was revealed to me. And in that word, I developed a conviction about that word. It brings me back from wanting to die. It brings me back from wanting to give up. It brings me back from asking, what's the use? It brings me back from guilt and shame. It brings me back from all of the other horrible things that I feel. It's the conviction that with men it is impossible, but not with God. The physical side of you, it's impossible. But the God side of you, the God with you, the God in us, all things are possible. It's the conviction of knowing that inspires me to keep going. It inspires me to hang on. It inspires me to keep waking up every day, even when I don't feel the best. I still have to know it's working. It's working. I'm not forgotten. What was promised to me is. What was promised to me is done. What I've invested in terms of faith is so. Tears sometimes streaming down my face. The heaviness of carrying many worlds on my shoulder. But it's a conviction in the power of an unlimited God that favors me, that loves me, that is in me, with me, a part of me, working through me. If I can just believe, even if I fall off, if I can just keep one hand on my faith, keep one hand inside the car of faith, even when I turn the corner and look like I'm going to fall out on the street, tumble and rumble and maybe get run over by somebody else. But the one hand that's inside the car of faith keeps me going. Never, ever, ever give up your faith. Never, ever allow anybody or anything to cause you to compromise your conviction about what you know is God. I don't care how immoral they say you are. I don't care how ineligible they declare you to be. I don't care how out of bounds you are with their rules and regulations, even their hermeneutical interpretations of scripture. Know that you know that you know that you know that you believe. And stand in that conviction. You deserve the best of the best. And always know that God is with you. $AG Green, $AG Green Enterprises, or Zelle. You can use it at the bottom of the screen. Find me on Chime as well. I'm going to release you with the Shalom blessing. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing and nothing broken. It is so, and so it is. Love you, love you, love you, love you. Thank you for being a part of this journey of awakening and transformation. Support the light through Revolution Inc. by liking, sharing, and giving. Cash App $AG Green and $AG Green Enterprises. You can also give by Zelle. Anthony G. Green at hotmail.com is what you use. And Chime, $Anthony/Green/336. If you haven't joined as a member of Patreon, now is a good time. We're a spiritual community that's evolving, transforming, and ascending. If you like what you have seen and heard, connect with us. It's time to vibe with your tribe. Also take time to visit theaggreen.com for the latest developments and explore divinespeciesshop.com for spiritual tools to elevate your life. Your love and support helps keep this mission alive.